Good day, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Peace, peace, family. As Young Pharaoh says, and all that good, good stuff. As I say, good, good. Just lighten up a little bit to Palo Santos. Have a little Palo Santos in your life. I like to focus on some positive energy. Positive energy is a good thing. It's a good, good thing. A good, good thing. Palo Santos, Palo Santos. Anywho, I was listening to someone speak about, the actions that we should be taking, just the same way that we as parents, guardians, elders, we do what we can to motivate our children to think positive and avoid saying words like I can't and I'm not, and you get what I'm saying, and instilling these beliefs and systems into our children about how far they can take themselves with the right attitudes and thought patterns and actions that they take. We as adults need to reflect what we say, like that inner dialogue, which I spoke about before, but sometimes it need to come up again. And we need to be saying to ourselves, we need to assess for ourselves how we view other people, and it's in so many different layers of that. Like again, I'm going to keep saying that I really started this channel, Ascending Bonds of Consciousness, because it's a beautiful time to be alive. In the atmosphere of what's going on, we're setting the tone for what is going to be the final outcome. So if we tell our children that you can do anything, and that we take them outside of that box of their the foundation of what they can aspire, or with persistence and tenacity what they can become, then not just in them but also in ourselves, and also in how we, the same way that we up our children is the same way we need to be upping one another. That was the whole point, is that we need to be saying to our brothers and sisters all over the diaspora, that are deserving to receive it, because sometimes, we are our worst enemy, how we view one another. So we have the power, especially now, to change that atmosphere, to really reflect. And a good way to do that is to really be diligent in recognizing what you're watching on TV, even in the news, even if it seemed like it's working for you. I'm going to give you an example. There was something that I saw on this young lady's channel who seemed like she's a very positive person. Her YouTube channel is called The African Superstar, and she has traveled to different parts of Africa. She is living out her dream of going all over Africa and connecting with the motherland. Beautiful thing, beautiful concept. Now, what I saw on her channel, and this is not to be negative or anything, I'm just making an assessment and how we're speaking about positive things and how we need to up ourselves and one another. And there is a solution. I think she called it the code. Make sure that we're always on code. I believe that's how she put it. And if we're always on code, we have to also be conscious and aware of what information we're putting on, just setting a vibe out there. Because if I'm telling you, like I said, this is not to shame her in any way, because I could tell she is like all about, upping us and making us feel good about ourselves, especially as, as blacks, because it does seem like we're getting the raw end of the stick at every angle. Anywho, I'm saying all that to say that something that I saw on her channel made me say, well, okay, did she put that out on the channel because there's going to be a solution to it? I didn't see the point in that particular little news thing that she had, which was some newscaster that I don't particularly care for, because people are not, news is not, how can I say? Most of the news that we're receiving on the mainstream media, most of that news is not designed to make us feel good about ourselves or our situation. And that's what I found that was. Like, you don't need to tell me that systemic racism exists. You don't need to tell me that. I already know that. Maybe he wasn't speaking to me. Maybe he was speaking because I know. And then in saying that, he was saying something derogatory about Trump. Trump is the president of the United States. He's not, him alone is not going to be able to end systemic racism. We together can end it, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm not going to be mad at one person because of the situation that we're in, because I'm not saying that he's not, by not acknowledging it, that you're not going to be a force that can help to change it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, because even a lot of us as black people are in denial about systemic racism, because there are a lot of black people that feel if you work hard, we're in America. If you work hard and you just, reach for your goals, you can achieve it. That's easier said than done, because there are so many different layers in people's lives. Like, I can't judge your path because I have not walked in your shoes. I may not have had the same foundation that you had. So if your foundation was systematically designed for you to fail, how are you now going to get good out of that unless you were fortunate enough to have someone bring that to you? If you understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of people in, especially the black community, that it's not just their environment, or that is keeping them bound to this statistic. It's also their household. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fortunate. My parents were both workers and they were both in the home. And even though they may not have told me that you can be anything and that you want to be, they had a certain expectation for me. And as a parent, when you have a certain level of expectation for your child, they're going to achieve that. There was an underlying goal that we are definitely graduating from high school. That was a no-brainer. Like, that was just something. It was just a certain expectation. And that's like, if I have a certain expectation for my child, then yes, it's how can I say it? If I expect better of you, you're going to want to do better as a child and a parent. If a parent has a great, and same thing as a teacher, if a teacher usually tells a child that they can't do it, they're going to believe that. If society tells a certain race that this is what you are, some of them, not all of them, will begin to believe that. So what I'm saying all of this to say that be careful of the information that you receive, or the information that you acknowledge, or the information that you put out, because it is in somehow continuing a pattern, because all of that has a frequency. So if you're just going to tell me that systemic racism exists, but you're not offering a solution, then what was the purpose of that frequency? That's what I'm saying. So, the same way that we up our children, let's up ourselves and let's make that platform or put that type of platform around us where we are vibrating at a frequency that is creating a solution, not just telling us that there is possibly a problem, but that is creating a solution. And especially if it's pointing the finger at someone or something else, instead of empowering us that we have the power to now change the situation that we're in. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to blame Trump for the racism that exists in the world. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't see any solution in that. And he may be a racist. I'm telling you, if I empower myself and I empower the people around me, it doesn't matter what somebody else, because eventually it's going to be a ripple effect and it's going to change the world. So peace, 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 truth, 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 love, 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 joy, joy, joy. And let's get to the work. Let's get to work now. Love, peace.